What did you do as a child that you hid from your parents? I was the king of average. Not failing, not succeeding, just floating through middle school with solid C's and the occasional B- that made my parents think I was trying harder. But my parents? They wanted honor roll. They wanted teacher conferences where people bragged about me. They wanted those bumper stickers that said, "My kid is an honor student." By 6th grade, I figured out something huge. My parents were old school. They never checked grades online. They waited for the actual report card to show up in our mailbox like it was 1995. That's when I had the dumbest, most brilliant idea of my 12-year-old life. During lunch, I volunteered to help Mrs. Rodriguez clean the main office. While she wasn't looking, I grabbed one of those official report card envelopes from the trash, completely empty, just sitting there after some kid's mom picked up their grades early. At home, I snuck into our basement where Dad kept his old typewriter. You know, the heavy black monster he claimed was vintage, but really just took up space next to the Christmas decorations. I spent 3 hours that night carefully steaming open the envelope with Mom's tea kettle, then typing up my masterpiece. All A's. A few outstanding effort comments. Even threw in pleasure to have in class, because that sounded teacher-like. The hardest part was the signature. I practiced Mrs. Henderson's name about 50 times on scratch paper before committing to the real thing. Next day, I beat everyone home and slipped it in our mailbox. Then I waited. Mom found it around 5, right when she was starting dinner. I'll never forget the sound she made, like a surprised gasp mixed with pure joy. "Honey," she yelled to Dad, "come look at this." They both stared at my fake report card like it was a lottery ticket. Mom actually teared up. Dad patted my shoulder and said he was so proud, and maybe we could celebrate with pizza tonight. I felt amazing, and also completely terrified. But it worked so well that I kept going. Every quarter for almost 2 years, I'd create a new masterpiece. I got creative, gave myself fake awards like Math Star of the Month and Most Improved Reader. I even started making fake emails from teachers, logging into Dad's computer when he wasn't home and sending myself messages about my exceptional progress. My parents ate it up. Mom bragged to her sister. Dad mentioned my grades to his coworkers. They bought me a new bike for keeping up the good work. The guilt was eating me alive, but I was in too deep to stop. Everything crashed when my cousin Tyler transferred to our school in 8th grade. Same grade, same teachers, including Mrs. Henderson. Tyler brought home his real report card one day when our families were having dinner together. Mom was showing it off to Tyler's mom, talking about how both kids were doing so well. That's when Aunt Rebecca looked confused. "Wait," she said, comparing the cards. "These have completely different formats. And look, Mrs. Henderson's signature looks totally different." My stomach dropped to the floor. Mom grabbed both cards, studying them like a detective. The real one had official letterhead. Mine was just typed on regular paper. The signatures didn't match at all. "What is this?" Mom asked, her voice getting that scary quiet tone. I tried to play dumb, but Tyler, sweet, honest Tyler, said, "Yeah, Mrs. Henderson told us Jason's been failing math all semester. She asked if I could help tutor him." Game over. The next hour was the longest of my life. Dad got the typewriter from the basement. Mom called Mrs. Henderson at home. I had to sit there while they pieced together my entire operation. I spent that whole summer in tutoring, every single day, 9 to noon, working with this ancient math teacher named Mr. Brooks, who smelled like coffee and disappointment. My parents never trusted mail again. Dad started checking my grades online every single day. Mom made me show her my homework before I could watch TV.